One, you're not able to perform at your best. Good nerves are the opposite of bad nerves, right? Good nerves give you extra energy. They get the adrenaline flowing. You can think faster. You're stronger, quicker, right? And you can and you must learn to control your nerves. You can change bad nerves into good nerves. And you can do it quickly. You can do it in about 10 seconds. But it takes practice, and you have to listen. So listen up. First, a little background. We come in here, we do push-ups, sit-ups. We run wind sprints. We do ladders, suicides, whatever you want to call them. Why do we do that?
To make us stronger.
Right, to get physically tough, right? We do that to get muscles, to get stronger than our opponent. But there's another side of toughness, right? That without the other side, you can be bigger and stronger than the guy. You can have bigger muscles, but you may not win. Because if the other guy has this toughness, he can have the edge over you. He can be nice, calm, and relaxed. He can do all of his technique. He can negate any physical advantage you have on him. So what am I talking about? What's the other side of toughness? What is it? That's right. It's mental toughness. What is mental toughness? It's able to perform at your best no matter what, right? It doesn't matter if you got a bellyache. It doesn't matter if your singlet's too tight, right? It doesn't matter if you're tired, if you're dragging your butt that day. And it doesn't matter if you're nervous, right? You can battle your nerves. Mentally tough is very, very important. So I'm going to tell you a story, a quick story. I told it last year, but I'm going to tell it again because it clearly tells the difference between good nerves and bad nerves. So there's this 70-year-old man and woman, right? They're out walking in the woods, a nice sunny autumn day. 70 years old, mind you. Then out of the woods comes a big, huge, powerful grizzly bear. It goes after the man because it's hungry. He's got more meat on his bones, right? It's hungry. So it jumps on him and knocks him down. And it gets his throat and his jaws. And he said later he froze up. He was a nervous wreck. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't move. He just wanted the bear to clamp down and end it quick, right? Well, he was with his wife. What's his wife do? She picks up a huge branch. It's bigger than her. And she starts beating the bear with it. It's a true story. Starts beating the bear. She beats it over the head, beats it over the back, beats it on the side. She gives that bear a beat down so bad it takes off running, right? It runs into the woods. Next thing she does, she picks up her husband. She carries him to the car. The car, they had walked about a mile or two. She carries him all the way back to the car. She gets him in the car and she drives him to the hospital where he's okay. And they interviewed both of them afterwards. And like I said, they asked the old man, what happened? What happened to you? What happened out there? He said, I was so nervous. He goes, I froze up. I couldn't move. He goes, I wanted to run, but I couldn't. I was like paralyzed. And they asked her, what happened? She said, I was so nervous, I just knew I had to act. So I grabbed the branch and I beat it off. That's the difference between good nerves and bad nerves. Good nerves are like super juice, right? Bad nerves can be devastating. Gas out. Won't perform at your best no matter what. Good nerves are super juice. They're better than Mountain Dew. Better than Red Bull. Right? Better than Monster Energy. I've seen some kids drinking coffee at these matches. They're better than coffee. They can get you fired up and you can perform at your best with good nerves. So you got to learn how to control them, right? So everybody should want to know how to control their nerves and change the bad nerves into good nerves. Well, I'm going to tell you how, so listen up. These are some proven techniques. Navy SEALs use them. Other people use them and they can help you. You know, it's not only in wrestling, it's in life, right? You got to make a speech in front of people, in front of your class. Some of you had to do that. That's like the #1 fear out there, right? You got to ask a pretty girl out someday, right? Maybe some of you are a little young for that, but sooner or later, you're going to have to get your nerves up and go ask her out. She could be your future wife. If she doesn't say yes to you, you could end up homeless on the street, right? Because you regret the day that you didn't have the nerve to go up and ask her out. So learning these techniques is important. You know, they're good for job interviews. Anything you have in the future that you may face. So what do? What do you want to remember? You want to remember FDF, right? 1, 2, 3, FDF. Flip the switch. That's the first F. Deny negative thoughts. That's the second, or that's the D. That's number 2. Focus. That's the third one. I'll go into a little bit about each and every one of them. F, D, F. Flip the switch, deny negative thoughts, replace them with positive thoughts, and focus, right? Flip the switch. What do I mean by that? As soon as they call your name, as soon as they call your bracket, right? What are you going to do? Flipping the switch is like a light switch. It changes dark into lightness, right? You change your attitude. Bam. If you're playing with your iPhone, if you're playing any kind of game, running around, you're talking to your parents, talking to your brother and sister, no matter what you're doing, you change. Right there, you change your attitude. From fun time to it's wrestle time, it's serious time. You have fun wrestling, right? But it's also fun to win. And you got to learn to focus in on stuff. You got to learn to flip the switch. You have a good attitude. You're not angry. You're not scared. What you are is ready. Right? You're positive. You're determined. You're large and in charge. You're flipping the switch. Remember that. As soon as they call your bracket, flip the switch. You can go from, hey, go chase that, right? Go chase that. Hey, you guys, look at what I'm doing on my game. Hey, they called your bracket. All right, thanks. And you're heading to staging. And you're determined. You're focused. You're aggressive. Right? You flip the switch. Number 2, deny negative thoughts. Very important. Everybody gets them. You can't help but get them. Can't help but get them, but you sure can't control them. You're in charge of what you think, right? So if you'll get these thoughts. I'm scared. This kid pinned me last week. I'm tired. I don't know if I can do my best. My underwear is crawling up my butt. I can't do very good. You got to chase them away and replace them with positive thoughts. What do I mean by positive thoughts? You think about when you got your hand raised, right? You think about when you got a hit in baseball. Everything positive. Think about when you made a basket in basketball, right? You replace any negative thoughts quickly with positive thoughts. And there's 2 things you got to do. 1, you have to encourage yourself. And 2, you have to encourage others. Very important to denying negative thoughts and replacing them with positive. Why is that? The first one, encourage yourself. Talk out loud. You can tell yourself, you've seen all pro athletes, a lot of them do it. They're sitting there, I'm going to do this, we're going to do it. You see them like talking to themselves. They're getting fired up. You've seen kids. Talk to yourself. Talk out loud. Tell everybody. Tell your parents. Tell your teammates. Tell your coaches. We deserve to hear it. That you feel good. You don't tell anybody you're tired. You don't tell anybody you're nervous. That's negative vibes, right? We're getting rid of that. We're spreading positive vibes. We're telling everybody we're ready. Your parents ask you, how are you going to do today? I'm going to do great. I feel great. Right? You're encouraging yourself. You're talking out loud. You encourage others. You've got to encourage your teammates. When you encourage others, it helps you and it helps them. You're all programmed subconsciously that when you help others, it helps you. Helping others helps you feel good, right? And it helps them feel good. That somebody believes in them. That somebody's encouraging them and wants them to do good. So encouraging yourself and encouraging others spreads that positive vibe. It gets the positive momentum going. Everybody knows what momentum is. They talk about it in football games, right? They make a big play. All of a sudden, that positive vibe spreads to the whole team. Everybody's patting you. Come on, we're going to do this. You got to spread the positive vibes among your team. Okay, so that's the D. Or FDF, that's the D. Deny negative thoughts, replace them with positive. The third thing, almost done, hang in there. Third thing is focus, right? Short-term focus. I'm not talking about long-term focus. Short-term focus. Narrow in. The sun, right? The sun, we have a magnifying glass. All those rays, they come through the magnifying glass and they come out and they're focused. Laser beam focus, where it can start a fire if you focus. You've got to learn to focus in on the short-term immediate goals. And by that, I mean not long-term goals. Everybody can have a long-term goal. Long-term goals are like winning regionals or winning sectionals or being Rochester's first state champ. Something like that. That's long-term. I'm talking about short-term. When you focus on the short-term, It allows you to narrow your thoughts and kind of crowd out these other thoughts, the negative thoughts that come in. So we're talking short term. We're talking about how you're going to start a match. You're going to get the first takedown. Once you meet that goal, you're on top now. Now you focus in on turning him or pinning him, right? Short-term focused goals. Very, very important. So FDF, you guys know what they are, right? Flip the switch. Change your attitude. One.